I don't think I was like a real academic student. I was certainly into the arts more than anything. Even back then, I remember I'd get in trouble for kind of doodling, or I would get, sort of like, if he spent more time on his studies instead of doodling on his tests, he'd have better grades. They're trying to encourage me. But then at a certain point, I remember I was copying a Don Martin drawing by eye, and the teacher came around, and I kind of was going to put it away, and they said, no, keep it out. And so, oh, okay.
He was always doodling and drawing, and my favorite was always his sketch or his flip books that he would create. I love that he not only had the creativity, and skills to draw, but he had the humor and timing with it also.
He started putting cartoons on about everything that he turned in. He would come up and he'd always handed me his paper, because he wanted me to laugh.
And I went to Columbia and I got a bachelor's degree in painting and drawing, but always having loved animating. When I was, and again, going back to grade school, I would draw on flip books. So animation was always kind of in the mix of how can I use my artistic interests. After college, I went to Florida at the Disney World parks. They had a fishbowl of animators, and I rapped on the glass and I asked them for a list of schools to go to study animation. So I just feverishly drew and obsessed on it and got into the California Institute of the Arts after that. I remember my teacher showed me Pixar's 4 or 5 short films they did in the computer, and it was like a lightning bolt hit. So that year, I was lucky enough to get my student film into what they call the producer show. At that show, Pete Docter was there, who is, creative lead at Pixar now. He saw my student film and said, hey, you should submit it to Pixar. And as soon as I flew up and met everyone, I just said, I'm in.
I met him when I was an intern on the movie Toy Story back in 1994. And he was a young up-and-coming animator. Toy Story was the first computer animated film, and Shawn, I think, was hired here based on a student film he did at Cal Arts that was hand-drawn. Shawn was a very analog, hands-on draftsman animator that somehow translated. I think he's one of those key bridges that bridged just classic art and technology, which is kind of core to Pixar.
Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Bugs Life, Monsters, Inc., Up, Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Cars. I was a directing animator on Up. I was a supervising animator, promoted on that one on Cars 2, and then I was an animation supervisor on Inside Out.
He brought something that he gained in school and turned it into this career where he's put himself as an actor and an artist into these characters on the screen that has worked. I mean, people have grown up with these characters now, and Nemo and Woody and Joy, and I don't think he would have done that without coming up through school and learning the tools to build the tools that he did there.
It really didn't surprise me, when that, number one, that he had the talent, but that he was so successful, and that he liked giving people joy.
He really attributes Mehlville for inspiring him and influencing him and encouraging him. So I think he's always felt supported and encouraged.
I would never look back and think I'd be in our District's Hall of Fame. It's touching because when you look back, you really realize the difference that all these people make in your life. The teachers in general who always encouraged the things that they perceived me as excelling at certainly boosted my confidence and my belief in myself about doing these things.